I was born on everyone's favorite holiday, Flag Day, June 14th, 1992, to Terry and Charles Schroeder in Richmond, Indiana. Only 2 weeks before my birth, my mom found out news that would change her life, and my dad's. She was having 2 babies instead of 1. This came as a shock to her and my dad, and of course led to some major adjustments and preparations, mostly getting one more of everything. I came home to 2 very loving and dorky parents in way over their head with 2 newborns. However, they quickly learned how to be amazing parents, and slowly but surely my premature self grew into a little toddler already with a best friend I did everything with. I think this really plays a role in my first stage of psychosocial development, having a brother that has literally spent all but 8 minutes right next to me at all times. I learned to trust the loving individuals around me, my brother and punching bag David first, and my parents, of course. They fed me every day, changed me 2 to 12 times a day, depending on my mood, and took me in the car around the block at night when I cried. I really learned to trust them for everything. My earliest years, those that I can remember, included learning how to be a brother. Sharing was an absolute key to my early development because every single toy that I had, so did David. My parents somehow kept me from killing David for those years, and for that I'm thankful, I think. I learned independence early on, especially when it came to what kind of character I wanted to be for Halloween. For some reason, I chose to wear a clown outfit on a regular basis around the house, and considered myself a toddler comedian trying to make my brother and parents laugh every opportunity I got. Before my 3rd birthday, I got another addition to my family with Adam. This is really when I started to know what being a brother, not just a best friend, really meant. I wanted to help with everything, and remember always wanting to hold Adam on my dad's chair in the living room because, let's face it, I was a man. It was always a power struggle between my twin brother David and I, but now I realize that it was never even a fair contest. I mean, let's face the facts. I win always. School started early in preschool with friends that I've actually kept to this day. I really had to learn to cope with all the new kids in my life, though. I was an honorary little fella in preschool and still hold the record for most time spent on the timeout chair, shared with my friend still to this day, an IUPUI student, Tommy Brown. David wasn't a walk in the park for the teachers either, but I just liked a little more pushing the limits. Soon after I turned 5 years old, my little sister Megan was born, the final addition to my family. I found music early on in my life, a cool story my mom never lets me forget. One day, when I was maybe 3 or 4 years old, I was at my grandparents' house. My mom heard the tune of Amazing Grace coming from the living room piano and figured it was one of my aunts or uncles. Upon entering, though, she found my little self propped up on the piano bench playing Amazing Grace with both hands from memory. My mom immediately got me a little keyboard for home, and I toyed around on it for years. It actually wasn't until I was in 5th grade when I started taking piano lessons. And this lasted for a few years, but eventually I decided to continue on teaching myself, which is how I developed my own style in reading. This really encapsulates what Erikson's talking about with industry versus inferiority. I found something I was good with, and I ran with it. I actually attended the same school from preschool all the way to my senior year. I'm one of a small group of kids who have done so. Seton Catholic was a great school that really helped develop the person I am to this day. Granted, I, just like kids who go to public school, went through my fair share of trying to figure out who I really was, an identity crisis. I dyed my hair a few times, was overweight for the better portion of 2 years, and found the joy of athletics. Athletics got me far in school in terms of popularity. However, as you can imagine, with the school size of under 200, it was so hard to get at the top of that food chain. I played sports all through high school and found a true love of basketball and baseball. I had a few girlfriends in high school, which really taught me to stay true to myself and never change for anyone. Found that it was important to always be yourself, and I needed to find someone that could accept me for everything I had to offer. The athlete side, and more importantly, the music geek side.
Whisper in the woods, melt every
Deciding on a major for college was simple in the fact that I knew that I wanted to teach music the second I got in high school. I followed this dream of mine to Butler University. Left some of my friends behind, but found some here that will absolutely last forever. My brother, in a shot in the dark, actually decided to choose to go to school here at Butler as well. He also found a love of music at a young age and is here studying recording industries and business. Friends here are seriously the coolest people I've ever met. From my roommates I have now to the friends I have in the music department. I also met someone really special last year. I met my girlfriend Jasmine Gonzalez last year due to her living in the same dorm. We became best friends soon after hanging out for the first time, and I eventually got the courage to ask her out. She's seriously changed my life for the better since then. Erikson says that it's important to develop intimate, loving relationships with other people during this time in my life, and I really feel like I've done this. I found someone who accepts me, both the less athletic now side of me and the more music geeky side of me. In all, I'm just blessed to be where I am in life. If I died today, I honestly would have no regrets. Everything that's happened to me in my life has shaped who I am today. It all stems from the loving family I grew up with and around, from my 3 siblings to over my 100 members of my extended family. Family, friends, and doing what I love allow me to be who I want to be.